Welcome to our UEFA Champions League playoff match predictions. We'll review the most notable matchups, offer insight into each team's strengths and weaknesses, and predict who could advance to the next phase. Let's get started. Stade Brestois finished in 18th place, but in my opinion, they had an accessible schedule. They won and lost the matches that were expected. Still, I think they're a decent team, but weak compared to their opponent. PSG finished in 15th place and deserved more for the football they showed. They lost points in matches where they were superior to their opponent. I think PSG will advance to the next round because they play better and have players in great form like Bradley Barcola or Dembele, but they shouldn't get too complacent because Brest can still do damage. In percentages, I'd give 80% to PSG and 20% to Brest. Sporting Lisboa versus Borussia Dortmund. I think this match is quite even. Sporting qualified on the last match day, finishing in 23rd place. They started the season quite well, but with the departure of their former coach Ruben Amorim, their performance dropped a bit, although they remain leaders in the Portuguese league. Nevertheless, they're a dangerous team due to the presence of Victor Gyökeres, who's been one of the sensations of the season. On the other hand, Borussia Dortmund finished in 10th place, but perhaps had the easiest schedule of all. They could have even finished in the top 8, but lost against Bologna, who didn't even qualify. In the Bundesliga, they're in 11th place, a very fragile team in defense while having dangerous players in attack like Serhou Guirassy or Bino Gittins. They started the season with Nuri Sahin as coach, but due to the team's poor performance, he was dismissed. The new coach is Niko Kovac, who doesn't inspire much confidence either. I believe the fact that the second leg is played in Germany is a key factor. I think Borussia Dortmund will advance to the next round. In percentages, I'd give 55% to Borussia Dortmund and 45% to Sporting Lisbon. Brugge versus Atalanta. This is another matchup where I have a pretty clear view. I haven't seen much of Brugge beyond finishing in 24th place as the last qualifier. They are second in the Belgian league and are primarily a counter-attacking team. On their side, Atalanta finished in 9th place and are fighting for Syria. Great season for Gasperini and his team, highlighting Matteo Retegui, who's scoring quite a few goals. I think Atalanta will advance. In percentages, I'd give 70% to Atalanta and 30% to Brugge. Juventus versus PSV. They already faced each other in the first match and Juventus won. Juventus finished in 20th place and is a team that draws a lot. In fact, in Syria, they only lost one match, but they have more draws than wins. I think they have interesting players with potential to exploit. PSV finished in 14th place and leads their domestic league. They're having a great season, and I think they're a more offensive team than Juventus. Because the return leg is in the Netherlands, I think PSV will advance to the next round. In percentages, I'd give 45% to Juventus and 55% to PSV. Monaco and Benfica. These are two interesting teams that have achieved surprising victories in this Champions League. Monaco finished in 17th place, but had good matches like the wins against Barcelona and Aston Villa. Benfica finished in 16th place, but also played well. These teams have already faced each other, and Benfica won, but I think this time it will be different and Monaco will advance to the next round. In percentages, I'd give 55% to Monaco and 45% to Benfica. Feyenoord versus Milan. This is another interesting duel. Feyenoord finished in 19th place, beating Bayern Munich. Santiago Giménez is in great form, although we'll see if he stays or leaves the team. There are rumors he might go to Milan, who are their opponents in these playoffs. Milan finished in 13th place and started the season poorly. Now, with the arrival of Sergio Canseco as coach, they're improving. I think Feyenoord will advance to the next round. In percentages, I'd give 55% to Feyenoord and 45% to Milan. Celtic versus Bayern Munich. I think it's quite clear that Bayern Munich will advance, and with considerable ease, I dare to say. Celtic tries to play quite good football but doesn't have the necessary players. They finished in 21st place, suffering quite a bit and receiving a thrashing. Bayern Munich finished in 12th place and didn't have their best performance during the tournament, but they are still better than their opponent in every aspect. In percentage, I'd give 90% to Bayern Munich and 10% to Celtic. Manchester City and Real Madrid. They face each other again, but this is the first time Madrid arrives with better performance than City. Real Madrid finished in 11th place with ups and downs. The team seems to be starting to function. Mbappe is reaching the level we're accustomed to. Rodrigo turns into Cristiano Ronaldo in the Champions League, and we know Vinicius is always dangerous. The problem for Real Madrid is in defense where, due to injuries, Tchouaméni plays as a central defender with quite a few complications. Lucas Vazquez on the right back is a sieve. On their part, Manchester City is having a season in crisis. They qualified on the last match day. Even at halftime, they were out of qualification spots, finally finishing in 22nd place. Without a doubt, perhaps Pep Guardiola's worst season for various reasons. I think Rodri's absence is key because he was the team's backbone, and no one is able to fill that role. Additionally, players like Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne are having a dip in their performance. I think Real Madrid will advance to the next round. City struggles a lot when they need to retreat to defend counterattacks, and that's precisely one of Real Madrid's strong points, having players with great speed. Mbappe and Vinicius can do a lot of damage exploiting balls behind the defense. Plus, the second leg is played at Santiago Bernabeu. I think at the Etihad Stadium it will be more even, but at Madrid's home, we could see a rout. In percentages, I'd give 70% to Real Madrid and 30% to Manchester City. And that's how we wrap up our look at the UEFA Champions League playoff matches. Each matchup has its own drama, strategy, and excitement. Let's not forget that in football, surprises are part of the game, so although we've made our predictions, anything can happen on the pitch. Stay tuned for these matches and enjoy the spectacle that the Champions League offers.